Did you know that analyzing your Facebook ad data doesn't have to be confusing or frustrating? There really are just a few key metrics you want to be tracking when you're running your Facebook ads. Are you ready to learn what they are? Let's cue that intro. My name is Kelly Sturdivant. I am a Facebook ad strategist, and I help business owners optimize their ads to scale and convert their existing products and services. As we get started, why don't you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you stay up to date on all things Facebook ads, as well as like this video and share it with your community. Drop a comment below. Are you looking at your Facebook ad data, and do you understand the metrics that you're looking at? So in your ads manager, there is a bunch of different pieces of information that you could be tracking. It can be very, very frustrating and kind of a little bit overwhelming as to what you should really be tracking when it comes to your ads. There really are just a few things that you want to be tracking on a regular basis for the most basic types of ads running. So as we look at our ads manager, you'll see that there's a bunch of different columns available to you. We want to be able to select just a few of the ones that matter the most to us for most basic ads that we have running. This means we're looking for information on traffic ads, purchase conversion, webinar registrations or registrations in general, lead generation, and the costs associated with those. So over on your right-hand side, you'll see performance columns, and it'll have a big drop down for you. This will give you some preset metrics that you could be looking at. And we're gonna go ahead and customize our own form to track this information. So select the customized columns. Then you get this window that comes up with all of the metrics that you could be tracking. Down the center, you'll see everything that you could track, and then on your right-hand side, you'll see them all listed out. So we're gonna go ahead and select everything that we want to be able to track. If you were running video, you could be tracking your video metrics, as well as the cost associated. Otherwise, we just want to take a look at all of the different types of clicks that we could be tracking. Our click-through rate and our link clicks are the main ones. Cost per click. We have our landing page views and a cost associated with the landing page views. Our purchases and the cost associated with the purchases, our registrations and our cost associated with the registrations. So on your right-hand side, you will see that you have all of this information that is now listed, but that's a really big form. So let's remove the things that we don't need to worry about. Get rid of those. And the schedule. So now we can go through and order the form so that all of the information for our objectives are in the same area. So we're going to put all of our clicks up more and our purchases down. We're going to take out the Facebook purchase. Clicks cost per click. So once you have all the columns put into place, then you can go ahead and save as a preset. Select the name that you would like to put in for that preset, and go ahead and hit apply. Now when you go back into your ads manager, you will see that all of these columns have populated for the information that you are looking to track. So let's go through all of the columns to make sure we understand what's going on. Our first ones are the results, reach, impressions, and their cost per results. So these are standard regardless of what type of ad you are running. You want to be able to track what the results are, the cost per that result, how much money you're spending, and the reach and the impressions that are happening. As we move across the sheet, we are now reaching the traffic portion of the metrics. Link clicks and landing page views are very similar, but they're actually tracking two different things. When you run a traffic ad, you have the ability to run for link clicks or landing page views. Link clicks are tracking just the click on the ad, whereas landing page views are actually tracking for people to click on the ad and wait for that page to load. Ultimately, you want your link clicks and your landing page views number to be very close together. If they're not, this is an indication that there could be something wrong with your landing page and you would want to take a look at it. We have a cost per link click and then cost per landing page views. So depending on what type of ad you were running, you'd be able to track those specific metrics. With a traffic ad, the cost per click or cost per landing page views should ultimately be quite low. This is traffic. We just want to get eyes on our websites. So we don't want to be paying a lot of money for these types of ads. As you see the ones above, we have a higher cost per result for these. This is because these particular ads are not optimizing for traffic. They're optimizing for something else. We would not want to base our cost per click on a registration or purchase ad based on the purchase of these ads. Our CTR or click-through rate is tracking for the percentage of people who are viewing our ad actually clicking through to view our landing pages. Industry standards are about 1 to 3% click-through rate. That doesn't mean if your click-through rate is lower than 1%, it's failing, or if it's above 3%, it's actually crushing it. You would want to be able to look at other metrics involved. But generally speaking, if your ads are running in that 1 to 3% range, your ads are hitting the average percentage of click-through rates. Our cost per mil is tracking the cost associated in getting in front of 1,000 impressions. This cost can be higher or lower depending again on what the objective is of the ad you were running. Finally, we get into the registrations and our purchases. These columns will be able to track for you how many people are signing up for your opt-ins or your free webinars or any kind of email lead magnet, as well as who's actually making purchases on your products and services. If you were running an email opt-in ad, so you were trying to get people to subscribe to your email list, tracking those registrations and the cost associated with it will tell you how much money you were spending to acquire that email into your list. Ultimately, you want to get it as low as possible, but generally speaking, some emails can cost you as low as 50 cents and as high as $20 or $30, especially if you were running webinar ads. So this is a good metric to track in order to see if your ads are actually hitting the way they should be hitting and for the results that you're happy for. Cost per purchase and your ROAS, or your return on ad spend, will tell you if you are actually making money on your ads or not. The cost per purchase is tracking how much you spent in order to acquire that purchase. Now, you would really need to know what your lifetime customer acquisition is, or your LTA. This metric is important because if you know that your average client or customer is spending a couple $100s, then it would make sense that you be willing to spend up to that amount in order to acquire that person into your ecosystem. Let's just say you had a small ticket product at $47, and in this case, we were paying $22.73 to acquire them, then this is telling you that you're actually making money on these ads. You're paying out $22 in order to acquire someone to spend $47. So you're making $25 per person, which is awesome. And as you can see, your ROAS, your return on ad spend, that is what that number is tracking. So in this case, we actually have a 3x ROAS. That means for every dollar we're putting out, we're getting $3 back in profit, which is what we want to ensure. Your average cart value is the average amount of money you make per person on those specific ads. If you were running ads to a small product, say $27, but you know that you have upsells afterwards, you would actually want to know what your average cart value is of those people coming in. So if you were running your ads and you had 10 people come in at the $27 range, but 2 people purchased the upsell at $198, that means that your average cart value is actually higher than $27. So that you could be able to determine whether you would want to spend more than that $27 to acquire someone into your ecosystem. So it can be very powerful information to know in order to determine if your ads are successful or not. Finally, there's one more piece of data that actually requires a little bit of math. Sorry, it just happens. And that is your conversion percentage. You would want to be able to track what your purchase conversions are for people coming into your ecosystem. So in order to track that, you would want to track the result and divide it by the clicks of your ad and multiply that by 100. That'll determine whether you have what your conversion rate is for those ads running. So if you had 100 people click on your ad and 20 people actually purchased, you know that you have a 20% conversion rate. And those are some of the basic pieces of metrics that you should be tracking for your business to get started. Your traffic ads should be tracking the link clicks or the landing page views and the click-through rates associated with those. Your cost per result, so your registrations, your leads, your purchases, your sales, anything like that it should be tracked and pixeled, of course. Your cost per purchase, so how much money is it costing you to acquire someone into your ecosystem, as well as that purchase conversion. That's the math that you need to do a little bit on. In the bio section, you will find a resource to help you along your way. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video and share it with your community, and we will see you on the next one. Have a good one. As we get started, why don't you scrub some... I lost my train of thought.